What is the fastest time you could beat Minecraft in? The current world record for the fastest Minecraft speedrun is 7 minutes 1 second. But how much faster can it actually get? To find out, I combined all of the most effective speedrun strategies to create the ultimate Minecraft speedrun. Trust me, some of the strategies used for this run will blow your mind. But before we get to that, we have to first understand the basics of Minecraft speedrunning. Every Minecraft speedrun can be divided into 3 different segments: the overworld split, the nether split, and the end fight. And each segment has its own set of strats. But there's a huge problem all speedrunners face. Since every Minecraft world is different, it's really hard to use most of these strategies, and if the world doesn't have good structure generation, the run is pretty much dead. To make sure that doesn't keep happening and to not waste time, speedrunners reset worlds a lot until they get a good one. Most speedrunners go through around 5,000 worlds a day. That's a lot. So what exactly are they looking for? Beaches. I'm not kidding. You see, there's a really high chance that buried treasure chests spawn in beaches. Speedrunners use the pie chart that opens up when you press Shift and F3 at the same time to find the treasure chest without even using a treasure map. These chests usually have all the iron and food the runner needs for the entire run. It also has TNT most of the times, which the runners use to get wood to save some time. Then the runners craft everything they need and set sail on the ocean in search of a magma ravine. Once they find it, they swim down towards it and on their way down, mine some gravel to get flint for making a flint and steel. Then they build another portal at the bottom of the ravine. With that, the overworld split comes to an end. It usually takes around 1.5 to 2 minutes. Now let's get into the nether split. As soon as the runners enter the nether, they open up the F3 menu and use the E count to locate a bastion. They then go with the bastion and use the gold they get from it to trade with piglins to get everything they need, which is 20 obby, around 20 pearls, and enough string to craft at least 5 beds. They then use the pie chart again to locate the fortress and use the extra pearls to get there faster. Once they get all the blaze rods they need, they build a portal and go back to the overworld. There, they throw one of the eyes of Ender and measure the angle at which it turns very precisely and enter the values into a calculator which will tell them the exact location of the stronghold. I know it sounds like I just made that up, but that is actually what they did. Anyways, the runners then go back to the nether, travel to the nether coordinates of the stronghold as it's 8 times faster than traveling there in the overworld, and build a portal there which will spawn them right inside the stronghold. They then find the portal room, craft all the beds they need, fill up the portal, and go to the end. There are 2 different strategies that the runners use here. The first one is pretty simple. They just have to wait for the dragon to perch and pearl to the center to use beds to kill the dragon. But this relies on a lot of luck, as it can take anywhere between 11 seconds to 11 minutes for the dragon to perch. So runners came up with the second strat for more consistency: the zero cycle. For the strat, the runners pearl to the top of one of the pillars as soon as they spawn in the end, build up to the dragon, and kill it using beds while it's still flying in the air. They then wait for the exit portal to activate and go through it to finish the run. Even the current world record followed the same format. So these strats are some of the most effective strats for Minecraft speedrunning. But we won't be using any of them for our run, as even with the perfect conditions, a run using these strats can only be as fast as 4.5 minutes long. Minecraft speedruns can be so much faster than that. You see, to get the fastest possible run, you need to find the literal best speedrunning strategies and reset worlds until you get the perfect seed to execute them flawlessly. Here's what that perfect run would look like. The runner has to spawn right in front of a chest from a ruined portal, but it can be any ruined portal. You see, there are 13 different types of ruined portals that can spawn, and we need a very specific variant called Ruined Portal 6, which will always be missing a single obsidian on top so that you could complete it if you get obsidian from the chest. So without wasting any time, the runner has to start looting the chest. Here are all the items that need to be in it: an efficiency 5 golden axe for breaking wooden chests faster, a looting 3 sword to get the most blaze rods after each blaze skill, a golden helmet so that piglins don't start attacking you when you enter a bastion, 3 gold ingots to trade with piglins, 2 golden carrots for healing throughout the run, 1 obsidian to complete the ruined portal, and a flint and steel to light it. Instead of looting the chest normally, the runner has to take the axe first, break the chest using it, and collect the items from the ground as that's faster. He then has to immediately complete the portal using the obsidian he got, light it using the flint and steel, and wear the gold helmet as he goes to the nether. It always takes 4 seconds for the runner to go through the nether portal, and there is nothing you can do to make it faster. But even after including that, if the runner does this without making any mistakes, he'll enter the nether in just 7 seconds after spawning in the world. The nether is where runners spend most of their time during the run, so we have to make sure this segment is as optimized as possible. The runner has to spawn in a triple chest room of a bastion so that he could get the most amount of chest loot without going out of his way to do so. The bastion should be in a warp forest biome which extends for around 200 blocks in each direction. You'll get to know why soon enough, and no, it's not for getting ender pearls. Anyways, the bastion also can be any normal bastion. You see, the way Minecraft structures generate can sometimes lead to two different structures spawning on top of each other. This doesn't happen often with bastions, but when it does, it leads to this incredibly cursed structure called an intersecting bastion. This unique structure is the result of a fortress and bastion generating on top of each other. We need our bastion to be one such case. Now, let's get back to what the runner has to do. As soon as he spawns in, he has to throw out the 3 gold ingots he got from the ruined portal so that the piglins can start trading with him. There will always be at least 3 piglins in a triple chest room, so it's 1 gold ingot for each of them. Since all speedruns are done in 1.16.1, there is no need to worry about piglin broods, and the chances of getting pearl trades and the number of pearls you get from them is also higher. The runner then has to go break the chests and collect the loot from them, and by the time he's done with that, the piglins would have finished trading so he can collect those items too. Here's all the items he should have gotten from there. 13 obsidian, 2 bone blocks, 10 gilded blackstone, and 1 arrow from the chests, and 2 pearl trades with 8 in each to get 16 pearls, and a string trade with 8 strings from trading with piglins. You might notice that there isn't enough string to craft beds, and you would be right. That's because the runner won't be using beds for the end fight, he'll be using a strat that's so much faster. But more on that later, because now the runner has to hope that a stray blaze spawns in the room, as it's also part of the fortress. And that's exactly what happens. He then has to kill it using the looting 3 sword and get the lucky 4 rod drop from the kill. He decides to leave the nether with just 4 rods, which will only be enough to craft 8 eyes of ender. But since the runner is only focused on getting the fastest possible run, he just hopes he'll get a 4-eye portal and moves on. Now the runner has to start pearling to reach the coordinates 150, 150. These coordinates have a really good chance of spawning close to the stronghold, and very rarely even inside the stronghold when you build a portal and go to the overworld. It'll take 2 pearl throws to get there, so the runner will craft the eyes of ender, craft the bone blocks into bone meal, and sort out his inventory while he waits for the pearls to land. Like I mentioned earlier, these coordinates should still be in a warp forest biome. The runner then has to start building a portal here. Since he has 13 obsidian, he doesn't have to switch between blocks to build a portal, which will save around half a second in the run. After he finishes building the portal, he lights it up, and while going through the portal, he breaks 2 logs and a vine and collects them. This vine will end up being one of the most important items for the end fight. Now that the runner has everything he needs, he just hopes he could spawn inside the stronghold. But he gets something even better. He spawns right inside the portal room facing the portal. He runs up the stairs and sees that it's a 4-eyed portal. He fills up the portal and enters the end. Now all the nerves set in. The runner has done everything so far to perfection and is on pace to get the fastest possible run in Minecraft's history. He decides to use a strat that's never been used before in a run. He's gonna kill the dragon using just a single arrow. You see, the way arrows work in Minecraft is that the more velocity they have, the more damage they do. That's why by boosting the speed of an arrow using TNT, you can literally one-shot even the warden. But there are other ways to boost the speed of an arrow, and the runner will be using the dragon to do it. We all know that the dragon deals insane amounts of knockback when it hits you. The runner will use that knockback to increase the speed of an arrow and kill the dragon in just one shot. This strategy is fittingly called one shot. Most speedrunners wait for the dragon to perch and then use one shot to kill the dragon while it's standing still on top of the end fountain. But this is only slightly faster than 1 cycle and 0 cycles. So the runner decides to use a variant of one shot, which requires a lot of skill and precision to pull off. He throws his first pearl and crafts a crafting table and sticks while he waits for it to land. Then he throws another pearl to go to the fountain and places down his crafting table to craft a bow while he waits for that to land. Once he reaches the fountain, he places down the wine he got right before leaving the nether and uses bone meal to grow it. Then he pearls onto it and eats a golden carrot while he waits for it to land. Once it does, he starts building on the side of the vines towards the dragon. He is planning to pearl onto the dragon, and once he gets hit by it, use one shot to kill it. He first throws a pearl far away so that when he falls down after shooting the dragon, he doesn't die to fall damage. Then he chucks a pearl right at the dragon and charges his bow to deal the finishing blow. All the time trying to find the best speedrunning strategies, and the hundreds of hours spent honing his skill has all led to this very moment. With his palms sweating, he waits for the pearl to land. And once he gets teleported, he perfects his aim and shoots the arrow. And it works. He kills the dragon. He then goes to the exit portal, waits for it to activate, and goes through it to complete the fastest possible run in Minecraft RSG. He just beat the game in 59 seconds, literally in under a minute. To put into perspective how fast that is, this run would be completed even before the runner entered the Nether in the current world record. Here's the time split for each part of the run. If you enjoyed this video, I can guarantee you like the videos on your screen, so click on it and watch them.